What is Yajna? You may think of Yajna as fire sacrifice or some other austere ritual. However, while ritual does constitute one part of Yajna, Yajna as a concept has much broader implications. According to the Vedas, every action has a reason and a resulting effect, the latter being both on the physical body and on the mind. Priya has a habit of waking up at 6 a.m. each morning to exercise because of her desire to be healthy and fit. Krish enjoys staying up late with his friends and normally wakes up around 10 a.m. By regularly waking up early, Priya has conditioned herself to continue waking up early in the future. Her actions have created impressions on her mind. Similarly, Krish's routine has caused a different set of subtle mental impressions to be formed. These mental impressions are known as vasanas. Vasanas condition our mind to react to situations based on past experiences. If vasanas are born from actions, and actions are born from vasanas, then what is the root cause of our actions? The answer is desire, which according to chapter 2, verse 62 of the Bhagavad Gita, is a product of attachment. Vasanas are the result of the attachments that arise from our thoughts and actions. These attachments give rise to desire and ego, which are the root cause of our actions. Acting based on this desire and ego give rise to more vasanas. Vasanas born of desire and egoistic thinking, called vikars, can be removed through the creation of positive mental impressions, known as samskars. The destruction of vasanas is necessary to free the mind from the cycle of action and attachment, and is the goal of karma yoga. How does Yajna tie in? It is one of the methods by which vasanas are overcome. Yajna comes from the Sanskrit verbal root yaj, meaning benevolent sacrifice, and is action to be done with a spirit of self-sacrifice, not motivated by attachment to the results. Chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita states that action done with the spirit of sacrifice does not bind one to the material world as selfish actions do. Rather, it frees one from attachment, thus making the mind less biased and more open to the truth. Chapter 2, verse 10 of the Taittiriya Aranyaka from the Yajurveda speaks of the Panchmahayajnas, meaning the 5 great yajnas that should be performed regularly. The first is Brahma Yajna, involving meditation, spiritual study, and appreciation of the sages that have conveyed the spiritual knowledge, Shruti and Smriti, to us. Such study not only acts to preserve spiritual texts such as the Vedas, but also fosters personal spiritual growth. By reading a shloka from the Gita every morning, Krish is practicing Brahma Yajna. Priya, on the other hand, prefers to recite the Gayatri Mantra before beginning the day. This too is a form of Brahma Yajna. The second form of Yajna is Dev Yajna, also called Agnihotra, in which the spirit of self-sacrifice and benevolence is embodied in a ritual called Havan. Havan is a Sanskrit word that comes from the verbal root hu, meaning self-sacrifice or giving. The performance of Havan is preceded by the chanting of Vedic and other mantras, as well as silent contemplation, a process called Sandhya. Sandhya prepares a practitioner for conducting the actual Havan, in which samagri, a blend of herbs and seeds, is offered into the fire while mantras are recited. At the end of each mantra, the word Svaha is commonly chanted, which is a request for the divine to accept the offering being made into the sacrificial fire. Another common phrase in a Havan is Idam Namama, which literally translates to, "This is not mine," and reinforces the spirit of detachment and self-sacrifice in which the Havan is conducted. The Havan serves not only to purify the mind, but also to purify the environment in which the Havan is being conducted. The fire vaporizes the herbal oblations offered into the Havan and releases smoke-containing substances, thought to improve air quality. Thus the Agnihotra provides a way to overcome the physical and mental pollution created by one's day-to-day activities. The third great yajna is Pitru Yajna. This act of giving involves showing respect for those who have sacrificed for your well-being. Priya does arti to her parents every morning, and in doing so, conducts Pitru Yajna. Not only does this show respect to her parents, but it also reminds Priya of the people who have helped make her who she is today, and therefore keeps her humble. The fourth Mahayajna is Atiti Yajna. In Atiti Yajna, it is one's duty to welcome and provide hospitality to all guests who may need service, even if uninvited. On a flight back from India, Auto's plane makes an unexpected stop in New York. Priya, who happens to live in New York, prepares dinner for him, even though she has already eaten, and tries to make his visit as comfortable as possible. In doing so, Priya has conducted Atiti Yajna. She is following the saying, Atiti Devo Bhava, or the guest is like God. The fifth and final yajna is Bali Vaishvadev Yajna. This yajna calls for one to help and serve those who cannot make it on their own. Dolly goes out to a restaurant and orders some extra food because she knows she will be too busy to cook tomorrow. When she leaves, she sees a man in need and gives him the food instead. In doing so, Dolly has conducted Bali Vaishvadev Yajna. Yajna ultimately consists of selfless action done with a devotional spirit and without regard for the fruits of those actions. It entails a happy acceptance of the results of all our actions. Yajna can be done in many forms, not just the 5 mentioned. Such selfless deeds not only bring an inner satisfaction to those who perform them, but also help condition the mind to reach a state where it is ready to receive spiritual truth. Live a life of yajna, dedicated to the service of others, and realize a humbler, more spiritual you. Be Hindu.